Hello, my friends. Welcome to my Friday Facebook Live. My name is Sarah Chattel McGuire. If you've never seen me before, I am here to help inspire you with some fun, easy card making tips and tricks. We're going to make a beautiful card today. I hope you all have had a fantastic week. Thank you for ending your week with me. Hello, if you're watching the replay either on Facebook or on YouTube. I post my Friday lives on YouTube every Friday. And sorry if I'm a little scatterbrained. My voice is kind of in and out. I went to the Backstreet Boys concert last night. It was my very first Backstreet Boys concert. I have been a fan since 1997, since I heard Quit Playing Games with My Heart. So I got my water here. I'm my throat's a little sore from all, the screaming and singing and all that. How was your week? Let me know in the comments. Tell me something fun you did this week, something you're looking forward to maybe this weekend. Before we get into our card, I do want to let you know that our card today uses a bundle from Sale-A-Bration. It is called the Wonderful World Bundle. And this bundle has a stamp set and designer series paper, patterned paper with it. It is free with a $100 order in my online store. To shop my online store, just click the link in the description of this video and it'll take you right there. You can get all your crafting supplies through my website there. See what else? It's the end of the month. So next month on Monday, I will have a new newsletter. I will have new specials, things like that. So if you want to stay up to date on all the things going on, subscribe to my email list. New subscribers get 4 free tutorials when you sign up. So that link is also in the description of this video. Let me see if I can find all your lovely comments. Please say hello to me. I love hearing from all of you and chatting and all that good stuff. Trying to think, I don't know that anything else is going on other than Sale-A-Bration, but Sale-A-Bration in and of itself is amazing. So when you join my team, you also get the Making Plans Planner Bundle in your starter kit. If you would like to talk to me more about joining my team and getting a 20% discount before you shop my online store, you might want to talk to me because that 20% discount is really good. I see we have a comment, but it's not loading because technology. So happy Friday. There it goes. Hello, Shirley. I haven't seen you in a while. We finally caught each other. Hi, Shirley. Excuse me. I'm going to need to get a drink of water. I'm going to shut off my camera and turn it around. Like I said, I'm a little hoarse. Lots of yelling last night at the concert. So much fun. Best show I've ever seen. And try to figure out how to turn my camera around because I feel like I haven't gone live in a month when literally it was last week. I did not go live in my VIP group on Sunday because I just didn't get a project made. So I did not go live in my VIP group. This is the card we're making today. And this uses, like I said, that Wonderful World Bundle. Shirley says, my last day at work. Starts her new job on Monday. Congratulations, Shirley. That's exciting. So this bundle has the Wonderful World cling stamp set. There are 5 stamps in here, and these are distinctive ink stamp sets. And what that means, I had a little something on my stamp when I stamped it. So there's a little dot there that's not normally there, but look at the detail and the texture in that rose. Beautiful. It also comes with the Wonderful World Designer Series paper. Now, this paper comes in a 12 by 12. I cut mine down to 6 by 6. So let me just show you this paper. How beautiful. Look at the colors. I love the colors in this paper. And these can be like fussy cutted out. They could be die cutted out. If you have like an oval or a circle die or something, let me show you the other side because the other side, we're using 2 sides of this paper for our project today. We're using this pattern. Look how pretty. And we're also using this pattern. So I'm using 2 sheets of Designer Series paper today, but that is the Wonderful World Bundle. And like I said, this is free with a $100 purchase. So I have linked my online store in the description. So head on over there and pick out some cool stuff. And like I said, if you want that 20% discount, get a hold of me and we will get you going with that discount. So I'm also using the Charming Sentiments bundle today because the Wonderful World stamp set and paper. It's beautiful, but there's no words. So I wanted something fun for the words. I chose the Charming Sentiments bundle. This is the first time I've really ever seen this. So this stamp set is a photopolymer stamp set. It coordinates, every single sentiment here coordinates with the dies. How cool is that? Like, I just think that's really neat. There's also some cool little accents, like there's some stars, some hearts, like fireworks, a candle, and just some cool accent pieces in this die set. So if you're not into die cutting yet, totally get it. The stamp set by itself still has a ton of different sentiments in it, and I think it's great for beginners. So I'm using also a different sentiment for our card today. So for this one, I used Wishing You Everything Wonderful. For our card today, I'm going to be using the Faith Over Fear. I really like that stamp, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Let's get started with our card. So first, I also changed up the card base. The measurements and everything are all the same. I will have a blog post up after this video, so don't worry about writing anything down, but I wanted to go with a basic white card base. And I also wanted to emboss, but I forgot to do that. But I can run and do that quick because my machine is right behind us. You might just have to wait a second though, because I'll tell you in a minute. So we're gonna go ahead with this white base. I also have two regular pieces of basic white, and I don't need two for this one because I put one on the inside, but you don't need it for this one. So I'm just going to put that one away. I only need one for this. I also have some Orchid Oasis and a basic white. We're going to do our stamping on this. Then I have some Rich Razzleberry, and there's our Designer Series paper, our other paper. And let's do our stamping first, I think, and then we'll get into what I want to use for an embossing folder. I really like this card, and I love the Orchid Oasis. I just wanted to see what it would look like with a basic white card base. I don't feel like it takes anything away from it. I just think, I don't know, I wanted to see. So I have my strip here of basic white. I got my rose stamp. We're going to go ahead and use a D block and some Rich Razzleberry ink. And the problem I had with my ink, I want to show you how to fix this. So with our red ink pads, sometimes if you can see that, there's these little, like, it's almost like a pilling like you would get on a sweater. And that happens on some of our red ink pads. Don't worry, it's normal if yours are doing this. What I do, and I know some people suggest using like an old gift card or credit card, which is fine. I don't have that. So I'm just taking, this is just a scrap piece of basic white, and I just scrape it and kind of move all that off to the side so that when I stamp, that's what happened on that. That's why I have a little dot there, is because one of these pieces came up. But I just kind of get all that pilling, all that stuff out of the middle. That way when I stamp, it doesn't get on my stamp. And eventually I probably will just replace the ink pad itself, but I want to use it right now and don't want to get any of those little, whatever that is. Some people say it's mold. I don't think it's mold. I don't know what it is, but it happens a lot to red inks, like our Blackberry Bliss that happened to me, and I had to replace the ink pad. So there is our rose, and no little dot on that one. And that's really it for stamping, unless you want to stamp the inside of your card, which go for it. I'm not going to do it today, but you could also take this rose and put it on the inside. I'm just cleaning my stamp. I've already sprayed the wet side of my Stampin' Scrub, and I'm just drying it off there. Put this away quick, and then we can put our card together. I do want to emboss this panel, so I might have to run away quick. But first, I want to show you what I'm going to emboss it with. I'm going to be using this, I don't know how to say it, quatrefoil. I used to think it was quarter foil. It's not quarter, it's quatrefoil. We'll say quatrefoil. I don't know. This is the embossing folder we're going to be using. And I'm just going to take this piece of basic white, and the part that has the Stampin' Up logo is the top of it. So I'm going to put that in there, and I'm just going to run away really quickly and emboss this. So talk amongst yourselves. This is the fun of being live. Okay, I'm back. Normally I'm quicker than that, but I didn't have, this is not a 3D embossing folder, and I had my machine set up for a 3D embossing folder, but look at that. How pretty. So I'm glad I ran away and did that for a minute, because I think even though we're covering most of it up, I just think it's going to make, I think it's going to make a difference. I don't know. It might not. So now we can do our assembly. So I have my stamp and seal. I'm going to take my designer series paper right here. And like I said, all the measurements will be in the blog post pretty shortly after this video. I just refilled my stamp and seal, so it's not coming out. There it goes. Ooh, I'm out of breath now. I like ran across the room. So I'm just lining this up with the bottom because it is the same width as our basic white panel. So I just want to get it on there as straight as possible. And then we can take our other designer series paper and put it on our rich razzleberry piece. And then take our rose. I had to look to see what I had to do because we're going to be adding a little bit of ribbon to this. Put that down. And then I have the woven ribbon. This is, I think it's called the Naturals woven ribbon. And I'm just going to take a little piece of that, grab my paper snips, my scissors, cut a piece of that off. And I'm going to use Scotch tape to adhere it to the back just because it's easier. And I like doing that. I like easy. So I'm just hiding that stem. So what I'm going to do is hide that stem and flip around my panel there. Try not to get tape, if you're using tape. On the outside here, you don't want it to show through. A little crooked. There we go. And I have already tied a bow and cut it out because nobody needs to sit here and watch me struggle to make a bow. I do struggle. So I'm just taking a glue dot. I have a glue dot on here. It's a little loose. I'm going to pull it a bit and hopefully not unravel it. There we go. Take my glue dot and just push that on the glue dot. It should come right up. And then I just put it kind of sideways. I liked how that looked. And then we're going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals. I have more, but I'm using up the outsides of my dimensionals. So I'm just going to cut this one. I don't like to waste things. So if I can use, I call it the bones. If I can use the bones of my dimensionals, I will, because I just don't like to waste things. There, now those dimensionals are done. And I like using them on big panels like this because it just saves on using the little bit. So see, I like how that looks. Like, I know it's not that crazy of a difference, but I really like it. So now I'm going to run some seal along the back of here. I'll make sure I get some on, oops, on the bottom there. I got some on grid paper. I'm just going to roll it up so I don't stick anything accidentally. Put it up about there. And then I've already stamped and die cut our sentiment from that Charming Sentiments bundle, Faith Over Fear. And like I said, the reason I wanted to use this, I'm not religious, really. But I like the saying, faith over fear. And I'm using some mini dimensionals for the back of this. I just like the saying because I feel like even if you're not religious, you do have faith in something, whether it be the universe or whatever. And I just like the saying faith over fear. And I think it went well with this card. I like the little rose there. And I know my sentiment on the other one is down here. I'm going to put this one up here. and I didn't get them out, but they should be right in front of me, is the flower trinkets. There they are. So these come in 3 colors. I only have 2 left on my little sheet here, but they come in brass, champagne, and silver. I used the brass on this card. I think I'm going to go with silver for this one. I actually need to just buy a pack of these. I think I have one somewhere. I have to find it. My craft room. It's been a week. Like, it's been a great week, but I mean, there's been a lot going on. I had a craft show last weekend, so my room is kind of a mess. I have to get things organized. So now I'm just going to take some seal, run it along all over the back of this card, and then put it on our card base. Whoops, don't stick it down too soon, Sarah. Yes, I talk to myself. It's what else do you do when you're alone in your craft room? So there is our card. So like I said, it is slightly different, but I like this one. I love this one too, but I like the little peak of that, however you say, foil tile embossing folder. I like the white on here. Let me know, my bow is a little crooked. Let me know in the comments, which one is your favorite, card A or card B? Which one do you like better? I will be live again on Sunday, this time for real, in my VIP group. I do giveaways over there every week when I go live. So if you're not in our VIP community already, we would love to have you. Click the link in the description to join our VIP group. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and happy stamping, everybody. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.